and welcome to your lovely, lovely slice of wrestling news with me, Sam from Cultaholic Wrestling, and Andrew from Cultaholic Wrestling. How are you doing, Andrew?
I'm doing good, thank you, Sam. How are you this fine Thursday morning?
I'm alright, a little tired. I don't know, I just couldn't sleep last night. I don't know what was going on. I just sort of kept waking up every hour.
I'll tell you why, Sam. It's because you're doing news with me this morning. It couldn't get to sleep. Too excited.
That's it. Let's crack on with the headlines. A huge interpromotional match is set for next week's AEW Dynamite. An injured NXT star announces their return. And the main event of NXT TakeOver has been revealed. Find out what it is in just a bit. Alright, Andrew, so while I was struggling to sleep last night, insanity happened.
What was it, Sam? Can you tell me? Because I always go, oh, it's Tony Khan's done this, Tony Khan's done that. What's Tony Khan been on with? What's he been booking, Sam? Tell us what he's been booking.
Essentially, last night on AEW Dynamite, following a match between Omega and the Good Brothers versus Moxley, Phoenix and Pac, everybody's just sort of in the ring. Everything sort of fell apart a bit after the match. And then from behind, Jon Moxley is attacked by a masked man with a hood up. And then slowly the man turns to hard camera, pulls off the hood, pulls off the mask, and is revealed to be Kenta. Kenta from New Japan Pro Wrestling has arrived in AEW. What do you make of this?
Unbelievable. Like, I wouldn't have predicted that in a million years. And to see that, it's like the Avengers, Sam, right? It's like when they're
It literally is.
We're announcing all these superheroes are coming together, and you're like, you're kidding me. You do it, you're driving a daft on me. And then this happens, and unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah. I was on the fence about whether this might even happen, the rumoured New Japan AEW stuff, because Ring of Honor's there's a lot of companies involved, and it's like,
yes.
Ooh. But, I mean, this is massive. Kenta is owed a title shot by Moxley, so it makes sense. And he's US based, and he's working with New Japan US right now, so it makes sense that he'd be available to just pop up and be on an AEW show. But what this could potentially mean is potentially industry changing.
It's so mad. And you just want everyone to get involved. Why not have everyone? Come on, WWE, just get yourselves in there.
I know.
How insane would that be for just the whole wrestling universe?
Japan's done it. Japan's done it before for charity. They've brought together all of their promotions, or at least as many as they could get, and ran supercards. And I think, we could realistically do something, but there's so many people involved. But on the point of Kenta turning up on AEW Dynamite, he could be making his in-ring debut next week. So the Observer are reporting that Kenny Omega has proposed a lights-out tag team match for next week, with him and New Japan Pro Wrestling star Kenta, of course, taking on Jon Moxley and Lance Archer. And a video that was posted on social media following Dynamite had Omega issuing a challenge to Lance Archer and Jon Moxley, and he said he talked to Kenta to team up with him to challenge the two to a lights-out match where pinfalls would count anywhere. This could be brutal. This could be absolutely brutal.
It's going to be amazing, because in that social media video, obviously Kenta was all smiley with Omega, and then he told him to. Do you know what he said? Sam? He said, flip off, pal. Flip off. And it got mental. And I can just see Kenta and Moxley just going at it.
Potentially, as we've said 95 million times already, potentially. Very, 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 very huge. But also, just real quick before we move on the point of New Japan Pro Wrestling, an update has been announced for about 6 p.m. GMT tonight, so British time, and it could possibly be about their rumoured TV deal for the UK. So keep your eyes peeled if you're interested in that. Next up, an injured NXT star is set to return next month. Have you got any ideas who it might be, Andrew? I know you watch NXT. It's not Tony Khan, I'll help you.
I know exactly who it's going to be.
Go on, Andrew.
Get me top at
I can't look at that thing. I can't look at it.
Why?
I can't look at it. I was sick in its brother.
Oh, no. Oh, this isn't the one, is it?
No, it's not the one.
Oh, thank God. Well, Sam, I gotta tell you now, it's big old to the moon. It's big old Cammy Grimes. He's coming back.
So he last appeared on the December 9th episode of NXT in a losing effort against Tommaso Ciampa. That loss followed one that came 3 days prior in a strap match against Dexter Lumis at NXT TakeOver War Games. Ooh. So, Cameron Grimes is a talent that a lot of people are excited to see go to the moon. And, hopefully some buzz around his return is going to help just propel him straight back into where he was. And we can just crack on and move forward.
I hope so.
Now, it was revealed that Lars Sullivan was released by WWE this week, and Fightful have reached out to Sullivan to get his side of the story, and you can read the full conversation over at Fightful's Patreon. But Sullivan did confirm the release, and he was surprised WWE didn't announce it themselves. He said they did it with compassion and honesty. He discusses suffering crippling anxiety issues to the point of struggling to eat during days of TV filming, and was having trouble sleeping. Sullivan also cited losing his father last year. He considers himself his own worst enemy and owned up to multiple issues that prevented him from gaining traction in what he called his dream job. He stated that he's likely done with wrestling and took responsibility for the issues that led to that by calling some actions idiocy and his own selfish behaviour. He finished off by saying that he was grateful for his time with WWE. Now, Lars is a very controversial character in the world of wrestling and has been for quite some time now, so I don't think many people are going to be saddened at all by, Lars moving out of the industry. But it's just a shame from the sense of, if things had been so much more different, what could have been? Because Lars had such a unique look. He was potentially gearing up to be another big show level talent or another, just really, really big guy, really intimidating. We don't really have many people like that in NXT or even indeed the main roster anymore. We've got Braun, but we don't really have anybody who's like the monster, like the Kane style character. But it's a shame that, he went on the way he did and he did the things he did and it's just what could have been.
Yeah, pretty much exactly what you said there. Like, what he said doesn't excuse the things that he has done in the past, but yeah. I mean, at least he's acknowledging them, and hopefully he does get the help he needs and makes himself a better person.
So back to AEW real quick, and Shaquille O'Neal is expected to make his AEW Dynamite in-ring debut next month, Andrew. Next month. Just Big Shaq, just rocking up.
Are you excited?
Month. TV.
Are you excited?
On TV!
On TV, Sam. On TV.
On TV. That's huge. That's huge. Now, say what you will about celebrity involvement in pro wrestling. It's the same reason that we've got people like Goldberg coming back. It brings eyes to the product. People that maybe haven't been watching it or maybe aren't interested, but do like Shaquille O'Neal are potentially going to tune in to Dynamite and widen the AEW audience, hopefully considerably. But yeah, essentially, the Observer reporting that the Shaquille O'Neal and Jade Cargill versus Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet match will take place on Dynamite on March 3rd. AEW had confirmed the date on Dynamite last night, and they showed footage of O'Neal accepting the challenge on last Thursday's Inside the NBA. It was originally believed that this match would take place at AEW Revolution, but that doesn't look to be the case now. What are your thoughts on this, Andrew?
My thoughts are maybe something bigger, Sam. Bigger than this? Can there even be something bigger than this match is happening?
Is there anything bigger than Shaq? Shaq is a very big guy.
What? Adam Pacitti is pretty tall. Adam's pretty tall.
I think Shaq standing in her office would still have to be like this.
Just like his head is propped against the roof.
Just come on, guys. You can get higher ceilings for me.
But yeah, I wonder if there's something bigger planned for Revolution, maybe. Or maybe this is going to be the best thing we've ever seen, and it does need more time. It just needs,
They could widen this up to a feud. You could put all the gold on Shaq. AEW could just lead the revolution in making celebrities champ. It worked well for WCW, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
No, in all seriousness, it's probably, you're right, it's probably something big as planned for Revolution, or, they want to maybe dip their toe into this match first, see where it goes, see what the response is like, and maybe loop back round to potentially, you could do a singles match there. That would be interesting. Ooh. So, yeah. Now to the other side of the fence we go over to NXT, where the main event of NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day has been set. So it was revealed last night on NXT that Finn Balor will defend the NXT Championship against Pete Dunne. Edge turned up last night as well and said that he'd be watching closely and teased challenging the winner of the match at WrestleMania, which is just Could you imagine Edge versus Balor or Edge versus Dunn? That's
all I want. And part of me feels like we might not get that, mainly just because of WrestleMania draw, Big Vinnie Mac wanting them big crispy dollary dues. But can you imagine?
We got 2 days though. We got 2 days.
Oh my God, that is true. Yeah. Can you imagine though, like at the end of Vengeance Day, we get either Balor or Pete Dunne.
Tear down.
And then they've like, someone's won it, whoever's won it, either Balor, obviously, or either Balor or Dunne, and then just like smoke comes up, Edge's music hits on the Titantron, and you're like, he's picking him! He's picking one of them! That would be so good, because the promo last night, he was like, you could see it in his eyes and in the way he was talking about NXT and stuff. Like, he was excited, and if Edge wanted to do something with those guys, and that would put so much stock into... I mean, NXT's already got so much stock, but, like, that would put so much excitement and eyes on NXT. Like, it'd be insane.
Real quick here from my notes, just on the point of what you were saying there. I've got some reports on Edge's future plans in WWE. He's been talking about it fairly recently. So he did an interview with CBS Sports, and he said, I didn't come back to just do a greatest hits tour. I wanted to come back because I wanted to tell compelling stories. I wanted to get in with a lot of talent so that if I could impart wisdom from 29 years of doing this in terms of trying to tell a story, that's really exciting for me. I don't just want to be another body. I want to be able to help, and to help the totality of the industry if I can. If that means that this year Edge main event's WrestleMania, okay, I'll do my part to make that happen and make it as compelling as I possibly can. But I also want to get in there with loads of talent. My goal is to come back to this and tell great stories in the main event of WrestleMania or on Raw, whatever it is. I came back committed to this. So it sounds very much like Edge's plans are set on helping the younger talent. So this could be massive. I want Edge versus Pete Dunne so bad.
Me too, so bad. But then part of me also thinks, Sam, to go off on a tangent here, I'm picking up my pen for some reason. I'm not even going to write anything down. But, like, I feel as though Edge... We've got the Royal Rumble moment, right? The Royal Rumble moment was fantastic. Yeah. We kind of want that to go all the way to WrestleMania and let Edge have another feel-good moment. He's come back from a career-threatening injury. Well, it ended his career, for a long time. And then I feel like him winning either the Universal Championship or the WWE Championship would be the big moment. But I think he'd want to put over NXT talent at a WrestleMania. Yeah. And then that potentially stunts the momentum he's taken into WrestleMania. But I don't know. Whatever happens, I'm excited because it feels very unpredictable at the moment, and it's so good to be a wrestling fan.
That if AEW, partner up with New Japan, WWE's got to pull it out the bag.
Exactly.
So it's just gonna keep heating up and heating up. And finally, just to carry on the theme of what could have been a little bit here, Wrestling News are reporting that a WWE legend was made a pretty hefty offer to join AEW. Now, there could be anybody. It could literally be anyone, but have you got any ideas? And it's not Tony Khan.
Stop it, Sam. Stop it. Again, going off the top of my big baldy head, I'm going to say, out of the blue, not read the news that's right in front of me, Ronald Mysterious.
That's right. So that's right. So Rey Mysterio was in the middle of contract negotiations with Vince McMahon last summer, according to Wrestling News. The talks have been going back and forth for a few months, with the main issue being over finances, essentially. Although Mysterio did stay with WWE, he did get an offer from AEW. It was reported that AEW made him an offer that equaled the WWE's per-match offer, but the WWE offer was higher because it was for more dates. The two sides were able to come to an agreement on the new deal that will keep the former WWE champion under contract for the next 3 years, and it should be noted that when Mysterio was in contract talks, he wasn't under contract with WWE, despite appearing on TV. So when he got the offer from AEW, there was actually a real possibility that he could have just made that jump. He could have done a Nitro and just rocked up, and it would have been like, oh! But yeah, since it was reported the two sides came to an agreement, neither side had commented on it up till now. But Rey in AEW, I mean, Rey anywhere. Rey anywhere is Rey in WCPW was great. I mean, come on. Rey in AEW is so much talent there that he could have worked with. But either side of the fence, he's got good pickings, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, what Ray and Phoenix, Ray and Penta,
And he gets to
Ray
work
and
with his son in WWE
exactly.
as well.
Like that
And
makes
his
more
daughter.
sense. And his daughter
wife.
as well.
Yeah.
Everybody. I'm chucking my pens about Sam. I'm that excited.
And his son-in-law, Buddy Murphy.
Oh my god! But no, it does make sense for him to stay, kind of mentor Dominic a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think I saw even Jack tweet out, like, can you imagine a Ray and Dominic feud as well?
Oh.
Like that, I would really like to see that.
There've been seeds of that sown, just sort of around this Corbin thing that's happening right now. Dominic is not really listening to Ray, and it's like, oh, because that's surely going to be that Dominic will retire Ray. That is too easy a story to write.
And
That's
then like
too
pass on the
easy a
mask
story.
or something.
Make it look like somebody else is going to like absolutely end Ray's career and have it be Dominic that cost him it.
That's so cool.
And you wouldn't get that in AEW unless they signed Dominic as well and built him up. And
Oh my god.
You know.
Sam, you blow my mind. Let me just dial. Vinny? Big Vin? Sorry, yeah, I've got a writer here who can help you with cool storylines. It's called Sam Driver. Book him. Book him.
Yes, but that is your lovely dose of daily wrestling news. We may be back later with more. We'll see how it goes, but stay safe. We'll see you soon.